Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fancy Football. And this is our Champions League second leg quarterfinals review. And with me on the show today is no other than Nonso Alinzichi. Nonso Alinzichi, a brand new week and a week of Champions League football. And not to talk about the drama that has happened in Germany, with Bayern Leverkusen deposing Bayern Munich after 10 years of completely dominance of the German Bundesliga. And also we saw also that the chasing pack in England, two of the teams faltered. Arsenal lost to Aston Villa, and Liverpool also lost to Crystal Palace, with Manchester City taking advantage on Saturday earlier by beating Luton Town by 5 goals to 0. Um,
5-1.
5 goals to 1. Those were the dramas that happened over the weekend. But this is the Champions League football, and we saw what happened last week. Can we see that repeating itself this week again, with the likes of Dortmund welcoming Atletico Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain looking for something from the likes of Kylian Mbappe, that Kylian Mbappe magic, to happen in Barcelona? Can we see those things happening this week? First of all, let's start with Dortmund and Atletico Madrid.
Come on, I'm loving the fact that the first leg, that goal that was scored late in the first leg by Sebastian Haller, giving life to the Dortmund team in that 2-1 loss. Talking about at the Civitas Metropolitano. So they will be hosting Atletico Madrid at the Signal Iduna Park. A big game, I must tell you. Dortmund, we know that Atletico Madrid has got the advantage, but we know there's no away goal. So it's another 90 minutes of football, different from what we saw in the last 24. Let's say the last 2-3 years, where you say Dortmund has got an away goal. All they need to do is win by a goal to them and qualify. One goal to they can only take the game to extra time. So they know it's a must-score 2 game. So it doesn't change even if they get the first goal, it doesn't change the plan. The plan is to ensure that they get 2 goals at the Signal Iduna Park. So I'm expecting fireworks. I think I enjoyed what I saw at the Metropolitano. I want to see more. I want to see Dortmund have a goal. They are now in their home turf in front of their home fans, and we know how jumpy that stadium can be, especially in Champions League night. And I told Madrid, let's say there are no strangers to having a jumpy stadium. Their stadium as well is a castle on its own. Where you go there, you could lose your footing if you're not very careful. So I expect a lot of good football. I expect both teams to attack and play good football. I expect Atletico Madrid to defend as always and try to break on the counter attack, and Dortmund as well with the quality of attackers they have. Sebastian Haller, Fulcock, Jordan Sancho, the likes. Not forgetting the winger, that man who was Marco Ruiz, who's been there for so long a time right now. They can get those players playing their best football. Yeah, we should brace up for a big game at the Signal Iduna Park.
Okay, when you see what happened in the first leg of that match, you expect that there will be a repeat of that, but this is a different ball game because playing at the Sigma Park, you look at the way Dortmund play at home, just identical like the way Atletico Madrid also play at home. They play to the crowd, play to the gallery of their crowd, of their fans. Do you think Dortmund will take advantage of that 12 man, which is their fans, to put at least 2 or 3 goals past Atletico Madrid?
I don't know why my money. I put my money on Dortmund. I think they can. To be sincere with you, I think forget about what happened at the Metropolitano. See, there's no team that will go to that stadium and not have a mental block. Can I start mentioning them? Real Madrid. When they had even Inter Milan, we started back. Remember when we were doing the competition in that game, and so Inter Milan could go through. They've done the job at home. They got there and they capitulated. And since then, Inter Milan has not failed to win games. So I wonder, how did that happen? It's the spirit of the Metropolitano. So I think for the fact that Dortmund navigated that stadium with a 2-1 loss, is a big boost heading to this encounter. I really bank on them to go and have a go at the game. I think they will get goals. They've got goals in them. They beat which team they beat the Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Borussia derby this weekend. They're in better place. Sebastian Haller is now scoring goals. The Santos seems to be in a better place. Reina, the whole team now they're not getting better as the games unfold. Yes, they can't win the league. We already know that already. The league has been decided with Bayern because they're winning for the first time in their history. But they've got at least a chance to win silver, and that's already the Champions League. So I think they'll give it the best shot. I think they will scale through. I think that same mental block that Atletico they do have when they step out of their comfort zone and go away from home, I think it could happen again, and then Dortmund will take full advantage of it.
Okay, Atletico Madrid defensively they are very strong, like we all know.
Yeah.
Can they build that defensive wall against this Dortmund side?
And I think they can. I think that's the only way they can play. I don't think they will attack Dortmund. I think they will sit back and block, try and hit on the counter attack. But I tell you, there are not so many teams in the world that can defend better than Atletico Madrid. That's going to be their fault. They will make the game boring. They will try to frustrate Dortmund. They will try to cause them to make so many mistakes. And when they get their chances, they will really try to oblige. So forget about what they say about the fact that Dortmund, no, Atletico Madrid will don't want to have a go. But my problem is, this is what I feel, that Dortmund will have so much firepower there, so much firepower to stop them. And they cannot see if they attack and they want to go to Dortmund, they will lose by a scandalous margin. So the only way Simone knows he can get the result is defend very well with the quality of defenders he's got, and then hope that the likes of Antoine Griezmann and the likes of Amaro Morata get their and their Correa will hit their stride on the day, and they can get 1 or 2 goals and just scale through. But I think it's going to be difficult for Atletico Madrid at the Signal Iduna Park.
Okay, let's move to the match between Barcelona at home to PSG. We saw a young Barcelona side traveled to Parc des Princes and got a 3-2 victory on the night.
Yeah.
Going to this match, Barcelona knowing fully well that they are not at the Camp Nou. How do you think they should really prepare themselves in the Olympic Stadium for this match, knowing fully well that they are not in the traditional ground? How do you think they can prepare their fans, they can prepare the players in this atmosphere to bring up a real Champions League atmosphere that will propel them to the semi-finals of the Champions League for the first time since 2021?
Let's be realistic. There's only one way Paris Saint-Germain can play. We all know they're defensively porous. They're really bad. Paris Saint-Germain, if they try to defend at the Olympic Stadium in Barcelona, I tell you, they will come home bringing in the sheaves, and this time it won't be good ones. It'll be tongues in their flesh. They will take in a bucket full of goals, and they'll be dumped out of the competition. See, I think they will rely on Mbappe to get the best of his game on the night. The attacks of Brocola, whether it is Goncalo Ramos, whether it is Marco Asensio, whoever is going to start, whether it is Ousmane Dembele, returning back to his old stomping ground. It doesn't matter whether whoever starts in the attack line, but we all know there is quality in that front line. So I think for Luis Enrique, he said it clearly that the game is not over. I still think it's not over. There's a lot of football to be played. If Paris Saint-Germain have a go at Barcelona and get the first goal, then it is game on. So I think they will attack. They don't have it. They can't even. What are they defending for? To be sincere with you, what are they defending for? They are trailing on the night and they lost at home. So are you defending? I used to say something. When you lose by 1-0 and you lose by 3 goals to nil, it's still a loss. No point gathered. It's still a loss. So they have to throw the kitchen sink, throw everything they can, take the gamble, take the risk, go and attack. And if they get the first goal, which is very crucial, I think Luis Enrique will be singing that in their ears. Try as much as possible and draw first blood in that encounter, and then we'll see where we go from there. Then you'll be able as a coach to help them as the game progresses. But I think if they sit back to defend, they will get caught out. It's not their forte. They will have to have a go at this Barcelona team, who we know as well have their defensive routes. We started in the first leg. They're leaky as well at the back. Let's be sincere with you. Not Barcelona were so fantastic in the first leg. It was the fact that PSG were not up to speed with the game, and that's why they got that victory. So we'll see how things pan out in that one.
Okay, we'll see how things pan out in that game. So for those watching us watching this video, kindly help us support Fancy Football by subscribing, liking, and sharing this video as we continue to build this channel up for you and for everybody that is interested in football. Like we always say, Fancy Football is a fan fest channel for everybody. Okay, let's move on to the second night of the Champions League. These matches will be played on Wednesday, and then there are the two big matches in the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League this season. First up is Arsenal away to Bayern Munich. In the first leg, we watched what happened. Arsenal came out gun blazing, left, right, center. Took the first goal from Saka before Bayern Munich responded quickly from an ex-Arsenal player, Gnabry.
Yeah.
That was one. That was one. Made it 1-1. Then Harry Kane from the spot kick made it 2-1. And we all thought that it would be a long night for Arsenal, but Lisandro Trossard came in and made it even 2-2. Then some controversy left, right here, left, right, center. But this is what football is all about. Now, how do you
It is what it is.
is what it is? How do you think Arsenal as a team, after losing to Aston Villa over the weekend by 2-0 at home, how do you think they should prepare psychologically for that match? Because I just think that the Champions League match against Bayern Munich also affected them. Despite they didn't travel, despite there was no jet lag, but it also affected them in terms of their depth the depth in squad. If you look at City have virtually almost 2 or 3 players in every position in that team. But for Arsenal, it's not all the positions, not all the key positions that they have 2 or 3 players in them. So how do you think psychologically they should go into this match, knowing fully well a win against Bayern Munich? We see them into their second semi. I think their third semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League.
Let's start from this quickly. For the first time, I think Arsenal will head into that game as second favorite. You know, I said it was a 50-50 affair in the first leg. But Munich are coming in from a 2-0 victory the last time out in the Bundesliga. They have seemed to confine themselves to the fact that they can't win the Bundesliga. And so all eyes is on the Champions League. The only way they can save their season and give Thomas Tuchel a perfect send-forth is to win the Champions League. So if you look at the fact that the coach rested so many players, it was despite that they got a victory, tells they're in a good place. For us now, they are all over the place. I think that loss against Aston Villa is still at some point, let me be sincere with you, will be at the back of the player's head when they get into the pitch of play at the Allianz Arena. Don't forget, they could have I love this is the question that will be in the back of the head. What could have been?
But at a certain point, this Mikel Arteta side have to stand up to become men. They cannot forever
remain boys forever.
Yes, forever. They cannot forever.
They are saying what I'm saying. They say, oh no, he's just building. You can't build for 4 years. Not even a house. What are you building? If a third mainland bridge in Lagos, I don't know. But you can't keep building for 4 years. This is 4th year in charge. And he may end up winning absolutely nothing. Right now, he's in the league, he's somewhere. In the Champions League, he's nowhere. So the boys must step up. The good thing we know about leaders and big teams that when they are faced with adversity, when they are pinned to the wall, they spring forward with a reaction. And whether how they fare in this game against Bayern Munich will tell me how far they can take this race in the Premier League to the end. We know it's less than 6 games to go with the Premier League, but they need to cause a reaction. You know, don't Bayern Munich also be like, oh, that was a purple patch. It can happen to anybody, but if they don't, they'll be like, oh, typical Arsenal. Here we go again. I was having a conversation with someone, and he was telling me clearly that Arsenal are asked how long. He then said it took Liverpool 30 years to win the Premier League. For Arsenal, they're in their 20th year. That's what he told me. And I said, come on. Are you telling Arsenal fans, with all the investment that Tottenham has made over £600 million in 4 years, they need to wait another 10 years to start winning silverwares? It's shocking. Absolutely shocking. So I think they need to react. Let me sincere with you. Psychologically, they're not in a good place at the moment. To lose a game in the title race where you could have won and be clear on top, after Liverpool has even lost and giving you an added motivation, to play that game, they're not in a good place. It'll be at the back of the head, but it takes leaders. It takes players who want to build the dynasty, players who want to ink their name in the books of history to react. So I want to see how they react. I think for Arsenal only play a certain way on that Teta, they only attack. And we saw even against Aston Villa, they were by far the better team, but they were just wasteful, as always. So they would attack and hope that the gods of Saka and the gods of the other guard, they will be firing. They'll be firing the right shots in the right places in the back of the net. But if not, I tell you, whatever. But don't let me say it's not going to be easy at Allianz Arena. it's going to be a long night. But the problem is, are these players willing to dig in? Are they ready to give 150%? Are they ready to fight to the end of the whistle? For me, the game just started. It's starting afresh. 2-2 draw. Scrap that. It's starting afresh. No away goal rule. So it's a new game. The only unfortunate thing that it's in your opponent's backyard. Wait and see how it pounds out. But Arsenal has got a lot to do. For Bayern Munich, they'll be there in a comfortable. Like I said, they are cozy, waiting for Arsenal to come, and Arsenal has to bring it on, or they get knocked out. It's as simple as that.
Definitely, they get knocked out if they don't bring it on. Now, moving on to the last match of the day, which is the final before the final. It has always been the final before the final for the past 3 years now.
Winner takes it all.
So 3-3 in the first leg. People say City at home advantage to them. Then I said no, don't rule out this Real Madrid side because they know how to play the Champions League. They know City are still learning. This should be their 13th year in the Champions League, if I'm not mistaken, for City. And Pep Guardiola have taught them how to play in the Champions League. Will it stick with them forever? We don't know. But this match that will be played on Wednesday against these two sides at the Etihad Stadium in England will teach us a very good lesson on how well this City side will go in the next 5 years.
Man City are trying to build a dynasty. This is what you need to know. If this
dynasty, like I said, dynasty. We saw that with across the season against United. Dynasty is so difficult to build.
I understand.
So difficult to build.
I understand. But I tell you, this man, if Pep Guardiola wins the treble again, imagine winning the treble back to back. He will ink himself in a place of history where nobody will be able to touch.
He has to currently now. He has to Alexander Ferguson's record in his side. City are going for their 23rd match in the Champions League without a defeat. I think the record currently stands at 25. So I think if he goes to the final, I think
if he gets past Madrid, I don't care whether he's meeting the semi-final, he beats them.
Yeah. So if he gets to the final, then he has a fourth Premier League title. He has equaled the record.
It's in his hands.
He has the fourth Premier League title to win, to become the first man in English football to have won it 4 times in a row. But let's see what he and his team
would have won the treble back to back. No one else can have done it. No one else.
So let's see what him and his team will bring to the table in this match. Because in the first leg, I felt they had an advantage. Because if you look at the Real Madrid backline with Tchouaméni playing as a defender in that match, and also with one of the best goalkeepers in the world not being in that post for Real Madrid, I thought they had the advantage. But City didn't take the advantage. Didn't take the advantage in full course, because also Real Madrid and the team standing in their way. They have young players that can move left, right, center. The likes of Vinicius Junior, who didn't come to play, and Jude Bellingham, which I think he is going to play a very vital role in this second leg compared to the way he was being deployed in the first leg. I think Carlo Ancelotti will come up with something. But for City, it's still same old City. They only have one way to play: attack. John Stones coming into the midfield, which is good, and I think that will also be key, because if you are sending John Stones into the midfield, once you are playing that high line, the likes of Carlo Ancelotti, we notice that, and will deploy something else to nullify that from John Stones coming to make up the midfield and make it much more tighter. So we know the setup, we know how City will play, we know how Real Madrid will play. What we don't know is how the match will pan out.
Exactly. We know Ancelotti has a style. Guardiola has a style. There's one thing I can assure you clearly is that we're going to see attacking football in its Chelsea's. One thing I can assure you is that we're going to see lots of goals. But one thing I can't assure you is who will take the day after the whole hula baloo. That's the problem. But come on, man. If you're a fan of football, I don't think your TV should be off when that game is on. Find a way to go watch that game. Absolute bonkers, if you ask me. It's going to be a fantastic game. Both teams will give you their best shot. It'll be absolutely amazing to watch that game. And as a neutral, I will enjoy watching that game absolutely, because Like I said, the firepower, they ooze quality from Man City to Real Madrid. The quality, the firepower, the defensive players, the midfielders, the goalkeepers. Just prepare for a spectacle. I want to sit on the fence on this one, but man, all I can assure you that it's going to be blazing. It's going to be a trailblazer. There's going to be lots of goals and a lot of excitement.
Okay, there's gonna be lots of goals and a lot of excitement, and this is how much you can bring you today on the Champions League review on Fancy Football. Kindly like this video, subscribe, and share this video on Fancy Football. And always hit the notification. Remember to hit the notification bell as usual, so that whenever we upload a video, you get the right updates instantly. With me and also Adizechi on the show, we would like to say thank you and see you in the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League as we bring you more talk. Thank you so much.